Mindfulness can bring peace and deep inner knowledge. Richard can help you deepen your practice. Watch this video to learn more. Today, I want to talk about beginner's mind. This is one of the essential attitudes of mindfulness. And this is one of John Kabat-Zinn's 7 attributes that form a foundation for mindfulness. These are non-judging, patience, beginner's mind, trust, non-striving, acceptance, and letting go. I've discussed non-judging, patience, and trust. This week is beginner's mind. What is beginner's mind? Henry David Thoreau observed, "I begin to see an object when I cease to understand it." While as young children we naturally live the questions, as poet Rilke wrote, as adults, though, we've come to assume the answers. We find it difficult to sit with the ambiguity of not knowing. The "I know" syndrome plagues us, hindering curiosity, and curiosity is a precursor to creativity. The solution to the "I know" pattern, the mind of the so-called expert, is to adopt what is called in Zen Buddhism beginner's mind. A beginner's mind is empty. That is, it holds no preconceived ideas or rules about what is. It is open, eager, and receptive. Zen teacher Suzuki writes, "If your mind is empty, it's always ready for anything. It is open to everything." In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities. In the expert's mind, there are few. Beginner's mind invites you to approach studies, habits, and exercises with eagerness and open-mindedness. Beginner's mind invites you to go into ventures and activities without preconceptions, as a beginner might, even, and this is important, even in familiar situations. The term beginner's mind refers to a paradox. The more you know about a topic, the more likely you are to close your mind to further learning. This points to an open-mindedness that can allow us to learn new skills, make better decisions, and be more empathetic. Developing a beginner's mind is all about freeing ourselves from preconceived expectations about what should happen next, and by doing so, reducing the risk of stress or disappointment. This relates strongly to meditation, which relies on us approaching each session with complete openness and avoiding expectations or preconceptions. A pillar of this is observing whatever arises in consciousness without judgment or comment, and instead of following it, to simply let it go. The principles of beginner's mind can be implemented naturally outside the world of meditation. By being more open, receptive, and curious in our daily lives, we can unlock deeper creativity, flexibility. So what are the characteristics of a beginner mind? First is openness. This is being open to seeing different perspective and experiencing new things. An attitude of openness means resisting any urge to dismiss other people's opinions or to just agree with them. We are more open to the wonder and joy of the moment. Flexibility. By using the willingness to learn that defines children's minds, a beginner's mind is ready to adapt to unexpected events and situations. Curiosity. Curiosity encourages us to explore new subjects, ask questions, and seek answers. The key to curiosity is the attitude, don't know. Having a curious mind means digging a little deeper into how things really work and trying to understand what is behind it. Acceptance. Acknowledging and accepting people's differences is crucial to developing a beginner's perspective. When we attempt to accept and understand opinions that are different from our own, we reduce feelings of frustration, anger, or confusion towards others. We also gain knowledge about ourselves. And then there's non-attachment. When you have a beginner's mind, you're not attached to any preconceived ideas or opinions. You don't judge things as good or bad. Instead, you see them simply as they are people and encounter current life circumstances without judgment. You don't spend time and energy fighting against things. Rather, you accept what is there and focus on what's within your control. What you can control is within yourself. Now, our psychology can hold us back. There are mental habits that stand in the way enough that we don't even notice them. Mindfulness teaches how to notice these kind of habits. The first is confirmation bias. One of the biggest obstacles in the way of developing a beginner's mind is this confirmation bias. This is our tendency to seek evidence that supports rather than contradicts our existing views. When our beliefs influence which information we choose to believe and why, we are prone to ignoring facts that contradict our opinions. Thus, we are less likely to make well-informed decisions. To combat confirmation bias, when you have an expert mind, you actually need to pay more attention, noticing our thought processes and asking questions like, how did I come to this conclusion? Can I prove this belief? Do I fully understand this issue? Or what if I am wrong? We can take control of our mind and prevent our habits from making decisions for us. The next is the curse of knowledge. By the time we reach adulthood, our brains have been hardwired for certain ways of thinking due to years of knowledge and experience. While this can be useful in demonstrating expertise in certain subjects, it also means we may struggle to look outside of our own experience and knowledge when approaching problems. So knowledge can limit our approach. There are two common traps we can fall into. The first is the expert trap. I think that's one I've fallen into many times myself. This is the trap of thinking we know. One problem with this mindset is we get stuck inside our own heads internally instead of reaching out to people who could help solve our problems. The other problem is if you know, then you stop looking for new answers. if we don't value our don't know mind and act like a true beginner, our opportunities for learning increase. The next trap is the problem solver trap, and we are programmed to solve problems. This can work sometimes against us, though. When we're faced to an issue, we can go straight into a problem-solving mindset without taking time to fully understand what is present in front of us. Looking for solutions in this way can prevent us from realizing that maybe this supposed problem doesn't need to be fixed at all, only put in a different perspective. Now, how do you rediscover your beginner's mind? Cultivating a beginner's mind takes time and effort. It means chipping away at behaviors and habits you've learned throughout your life. Here are some approaches you can take towards rediscovering beginner's mind. The first is what we're doing here, meditation practice. And the most common route toward developing a beginner's mind is through these meditation practices, such as mindfulness. Anchored in the present moment rather than past memories and future worries, these practices encourage us to look internally and to recognize negative or judgmental patterns of thought and emotion. This can help us note our typical triggers and automatic reactions that cause us to react negatively to events without fully realizing why we feel angry, sad, or scared. By gaining insight into these internal processes, we can learn to respond differently, to make new choices. The other thing you can do is to practice the don't know mindset. Sometimes the best thing you can do is to say, I don't know. When we get used to admitting that we're unsure about things, we increase our ability to handle uncertainty. Ultimately, if you truly believe you know how to solve a problem, you'll attempt to force your solution without considering other options. So the don't know mindset is a way around this. Here are 5 tips for cultivating a beginner's mind. The first is to clear your mind. Before approaching a new task or study, try emptying your mind of previous judgments or conceptions of the coming task or topic you'll be exploring. You can do this with a quick meditation. Find a comfortable position and take several deep breaths with your eyes closed. Once at ease, open your eyes and approach your. The next is to observe how children approach new activities. If you have younger relatives or friends with small children, watch how they engage with new activities, whether it's biking, building a fort, or even taking first steps. A wide-eyed approach can be freeing and offer a new perspective that still steers clear of cynicism or expertise. The next is to let go of your ego. The beginner's mind is a humbling experience. It necessitates clearing your mind may color your experience. Ask questions and find comfort in not having all the right answers. Enjoy the long ride as opposed to the sprint towards immediate clarity. Engage curiosity. Instead of operating on autopilots are completed in the ways you've normally done them. Shake up routines and lead from a place of. And the last is to go one step at a time. The beginner's mind rewards slowness, so there is no need to rush to the next stage or level of your journey when learning a new skill. Stay in the present moment as opposed to constantly planning for the future. To conclude, we have much to gain from abandoning our preconceptions and approaching life as though we know nothing. Developing a beginner's mind may take practice, but by hacking away at our conditioning, we can find again the wonder, appreciation, and thirst for knowledge that makes the child's view of the world so awe-inspiring. Shift yourself out of autopilot. View the world with an open mind and embrace the senses. If we practice the techniques in meditation and in life in our mind and experience all the benefits that come with it, you want deeper meditation, more peace, more happiness. Subscribe now to continue to find ways to get more from your meditation.